My husband doesn't want you there. He thinks you're pathetic. That's what my sister said, flat and final, when I asked why I wasn't invited to her wedding. My name is Kayla Brooks. I'm 38. And in one sentence, 15 years of sacrifice detonated. I didn't hear it from family. I saw it on Instagram. A rooftop venue, a white dress, a caption that said, "Best day ever." No call, no warning, just exclusion. I stood in my kitchen, coffee cooling, phone shaking, realizing I wasn't forgotten. I was removed. That was the moment I understood I'd never been family. Before we go on, tell me where you're watching from right now. A quiet kitchen, a parked car, or a room you finally have to yourself. You're listening to Echoes of Life, and this is where the truth begins. When our mom, Diane, died in a car crash, my sister was 14. I was 23. Overnight, I stopped being just a sister. I became the backup plan. I dropped out of college, waited tables at night, sold insurance during the day, whatever paid. I learned the sound of an empty fridge humming at midnight, the smell of cheap detergent on borrowed uniforms, the math of stretching tips until Friday. I made sure Lainey ate, went to school, had shoes that fit, had notebooks, lunches, field trips paid. She wanted to be an engineer. I paid the tuition, every semester, every lab fee, every unexpected charge. When she graduated, I stood in the back row, clapping quietly, already thinking about rent. When she got her first job, I bought a loft condo in Kansas City's Crossroads. $350,000. Brick walls, tall windows. The title stayed in my name. It was easier that way. I told myself it was temporary. I also opened a Europe study fund. $35,000, monthly deposits, tax refunds, bonuses I never spent. I didn't call it sacrifice. I called it responsibility. Over time, bills came to my address. HOA notices, utility alerts, insurance renewals, auto drafts I stopped questioning. When Ethan entered her life, the language changed. Support became control. Help became strings. Lainey started saying it too. You always step in. You don't let me fail. You don't trust me. I told myself this was growing pain. That love gets blamed when independence knocks. I thought consistency would earn respect. Instead, it built expectation. The invitation wasn't taken away suddenly. It was being withdrawn quietly, one payment at a time. I found out about the wedding the same way strangers did. Instagram. Mid-scroll. A rooftop at sunset. Lainey in a white dress. Ethan in a black tux. String lights stretching across the sky. Champagne glasses raised above smiling faces. The caption read, "Best day ever." My coffee mug slipped in my hand. Hit the counter hard. Didn't break. I wished it had. I stared at the screen until it blurred. Refreshed the app once, hoping it was wrong. It wasn't. I opened the comments. Congratulations everywhere. Heart emojis. Friends tagging each other. I wasn't tagged. I wasn't mentioned. I wasn't there. I checked my messages. No missed calls. No text. I called her, straight to voicemail. Again, voicemail. By the 7th call, my thumb hovered, then pressed. This time it rang twice. Ethan answered. Not Lainey. What now? He said, like I was a telemarketer. I asked to speak to my sister. He sighed. She's busy, we just got married. This? I asked. Finding out on Instagram? You really need to stop hovering, he said. You pay for things so you can control her. Control. I told him I didn't even know there was a wedding. Silence stretched between us. Then Lainey's voice came through. Quieter. Careful. He's not wrong, she said. You always step in. You make decisions. You don't let me handle anything alone. I asked one question. Do you want me to stop helping? She didn't answer right away. I heard a drawer close, glasses clink, muffled music from another room. That's not what this is about, she said. But it was. After the call ended, no one called back. No apology. No explanation. No, hey, are you okay? Just silence. The next days moved slow. I went to work. Smiled when I had to. At night, I sat at my small kitchen table with my laptop open. Electric bill, internet, parking pass, streaming services, HOA dues, mortgage notice, all under my name, all feeding their life. Lainey posted honeymoon photos, hotel balconies, hashtags about finally living. My phone stayed silent. I lay awake listening to the fridge hum, counting payments instead of sheep. Rent, HOA, insurance. The Europe fund deposit scheduled for Friday. That's when it settled in. They didn't need my presence. They needed my coverage. And as long as I kept paying, they never had to choose me. They could have everything I provided. They didn't have to share the day with me at all. They wanted independence, but they still lived on my balance sheet. If this were your family, what would you do? Comment 1 to keep paying and stay close. Comment 2 to stop paying and keep your boundaries. I couldn't leave it at a dropped call. That night I grabbed my keys, locked my apartment, and drove toward Crossroads. The city blurred past my windshield. Headlights, brake lights, nothing sinking in. Ethan and Lainey's building rose ahead, glass and bricks stacked over the street. I parked in a guest spot and sat for a moment, hands tight on the wheel. Then I got out, walked through the lobby and took the elevator up. Outside their door, I knocked 3 times. Firm, no hesitation. Lainey opened it a crack, then wider. She wore an oversized shirt, bare feet on the hardwood. Boxes and wedding gifts filled the living room. "What are you doing here?" she asked. "We need to talk," I said. "Just us." Ethan appeared behind her, phone already in his hand. "Anything you have to say," he said. "You can say in front of me." I looked at her, not him. "You let him call me pathetic," I said. "You agreed I'm controlling. Say it to my face." She shifted her weight, eyes sliding away. "It's not about the word," she said. "It's how you make us feel." "How I make you feel," I repeated. "Or how much I pay." Ethan lifted his phone a little higher, camera open. "Careful," he said. "You're very emotional right now." Behind him I saw boxes labeled kitchen, office, bedroom. Every label stacked inside a condo my money carried. "You live here because I signed the loan," I said. "The Europe fund is mine. Every payment hits my account." Lainey crossed her arms. "We appreciate it," she said, "but it always comes with speeches." Neighbor doors started cracking open. A man in sweats leaned on his frame, phone up, recording. Another light clicked on down the hall. "Family drama," someone whispered. Ethan smirked. "See?" he said. "This is what we mean. You turn everything into a scene." My voice dropped lower. "You really think this is about attention?" I asked. "It's about control," he said. "You're not the parent. You're not the hero. We're adults now." Lainey nodded once, didn't meet my eyes. "You wanted distance," she said. "We're just taking it." The hallway felt smaller. The air tasted stale and thin. I looked at his camera, her folded arms, the neighbor's blinking red light. I could argue, list numbers, beg, or I could listen to what they were actually saying. They didn't want my presence. They didn't want my history. They wanted my signature. That was the night I stopped being their safety net and started being my own. Back home I didn't cry. I took off my shoes, hung my keys on the hook, turned on the kitchen light. The condo felt small, but for the first time, it felt like mine. I opened my laptop on the dining table, pulled in a chair, created a new spreadsheet. Column 1, asset. Column 2, value. Column 3, legal owner. On the first line I typed, Crossroads Loft Condo, $350,000. Owner, Kayla Brooks. Second line, Europe Study Fund, $35,000. Owner, Kayla Brooks. Third line, airline tickets for 2 to Europe, $8,000. Paid on my card. Then I added the pieces no one ever thinks about. HOA dues, property tax escrow, internet, streaming, parking, insurance. All of it tied to my name. The total stared up at me. Over $400,000 wrapped around their version of adulthood. I scrolled to my contacts. Found Morgan Reed, a corporate attorney I knew from work events. Hit call. She sounded tired. "Everything okay, Kayla?" "Quick question," I said. "If every account and deed is in my name, can I unwind things without them stopping me?" She asked for details. I read from the screen. Condo deed, loan, 529 plan, tickets, utilities. Sole owner, no co-signers, no written promises. She was quiet a moment. "You're clean," she said. "You can sell, close, cancel. Worst you face is taxes and fees." "Any chance they can claim I gifted it?" "Not legally," she said. "Not without documents. Emotion isn't a contract." My chest loosened. Not happy, not relieved. Just clear. After we hung up, I opened a second tab. Action steps. Call airline. Cancel tickets, request refund, contact investment firm, drain the 529, accept the penalty, hire my realtor, list the condo, move fast, cut utilities, end subscriptions, change every shared password. Each line got a deadline. Each deadline got a box. One by one, I checked them. The next morning, I called the airline first. Both tickets canceled, refund on the way. Then the 529, closed. Balance heading back to me minus a small hit. Next, my realtor. He pulled recent sales, suggested an asking price, sent papers to sign. By noon, the condo was listed. By evening, showings already booked. I stood at my window that night, city lights blinking below. Somewhere across town, they were planning a future they thought was secured. I didn't send a text. I didn't leave a voicemail. They wanted independence. They were getting it. Not the pretty version from their rooftop photos. The legal version. The financial version. The kind that comes when the net is gone, and the fall is theirs alone. Independence started the moment I stopped paying for it. 4 months passed before I heard from Lainey again. I was in a video meeting when an unknown number flashed on my phone. I let it ring once, stepped into the hallway, and answered. "Sis, it's me," she said. Her voice was wrecked. "I had to borrow a friend's phone. You blocked mine." She talked fast. The influencer deals never landed. The one big contract collapsed. They spent the advance anyway. Credit cards maxed out. Late notices stacking. Ethan gone most nights. Then one day, gone for good. "I was wrong," she said. "About the wedding, about you, about everything." Old reflex reached for my keys, my laptop, a plan. I kept my hands still. "Can I stay with you?" she asked. "Just until I get back up." "You wanted independence," I said. "Now you have it." "That's not fair," she whispered. "Fair?" I asked. "You cut me out while spending money I bled for. You called it control, so you didn't have to call it help." She started to cry. "You're my sister." "I was," I said, when respect was still in the room. I didn't yell. I didn't explain. I just drew the line and left it there. Then I ended the call and blocked the number. These days, my life is small but steady. A condo I chose for myself. Morning coffee in a quiet kitchen. Weekends with hikes, bookstores, and friends who ask how I am without needing a receipt. I think about Lainey sometimes. I don't check her profiles. Sacrifice didn't make me family. Boundaries didn't make me cruel. I didn't lose a sister. I finally stopped abandoning myself. If this story resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe. Echoes of Life will bring more stories of quiet strength.